Hi, Libra Sun and Rising. Welcome to your February 2023 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So the month begins with the Sun in a friendly angle to you, a trine, and it's in a great place, the fifth house, because the Sun is in Aquarius, and for you that is the fifth house, and that is what the Sun rules, is the fifth house in astrology. So it's very well suited there. And it's all about pleasure, the things that we do in life for fun. And I think that a lot of Libra people are down with that. A lot of you know how to have fun. And another thing about the fifth house is that it also is celebrating creativity. So whether you are being creative, and of course the force of the sun is a creative force, or you're just admiring somebody else's creativity, that can be what is influential at this time. And so, maybe you're going to be going to museums, art galleries, I don't know, or doing stuff on your own, being more creative on your own. But it's the house of love. And Libra, um, you know, you are all about love. I always have wondered why Venus was not the ruler of the fifth house, because it seems like it goes along with a lot of the things that the fifth house represents. Pleasure. Hello. So, so that should be making you feel very positive. The fifth house could even be like parties, things that people are doing for fun. And yeah, so that's happening. And then there's going to be a full moon on the 5th of the month in the opposite sign, the opposite house. It's at 16 degrees of Leo, and this is going to be in the 11th house. Now, it's interesting because the 11th house is the house of friendships, your social network, or the groups that you belong to, which I guess we could say are part of your social network too. And so when I think of the fifth house, I also think of like social interactions. But the fifth house is more of the individual, the person doing the creating, the person like, look at me, look at what I do. And that's what Leo represents. Aquarius is more about the collective. So this is also the house of hopes and wishes, and which I have also read being described as long range goals. I kind of like hopes and wishes better because it sounds more, I don't know, magical. And what else? But the other thing that the 11th house can be about is gains. And this is kind of like financial, coming from the work that you're doing. So a full moon could suggest that it's going to increase, or it's going to maybe finally come to fruition. If you've been working on something and it hasn't stuck, maybe you'll get it. It could even be like a promotion, I suppose. No, well, I wouldn't say a promotion, like a raise. It could be something along those lines. And with a full moon in the 11th house, it's possible that you're letting go of some social obligation, was what came to my mind, but I would say any kind of interactions that maybe you don't feel are really fulfilling to you, or if you have had a friend that for some reason has kind of like continued to disappoint you, you might just walk away from that, even though, Libra people tend to see other people's points of views, and you are very, you really want to get along with other people. You may decide that you can't, and that just works out that way. On the 11th, Mercury goes into Aquarius, so Mercury is going into that fifth house. Now, like I said, it can be a house of love, but maybe blossoming love. If you're single and you are talking to someone, that can be the first step. although we did have a new moon here in January, so um, even that could have been like a new development. Maybe, during the new moon, you meet somebody and then you start talking to them later on. And for a Libra person, talking is really something that can get you going because you are intellectual and you do like to communicate. And so I could see you being attracted to somebody because of their mind, even. Um, the fifth house can be the business that you own. So you might be trying to come up with sales um, strategies, or maybe even just dreaming up a business. The month of February is a great launch month, and March will be as well. But of course, in March, we're going to get into eclipses. So things become a little bit more volatile, or, you know, unpredictable. But February, there are no planets that are retrograde. So everything is moving forward. And so, but of course, if you don't even have an idea for creating a business, I'm not suggesting you're going to launch it in February. On the 18th, the sun goes into Pisces. And for Libra, this is your sixth house of work. And so this is a very practical area. This is Virgo's domain. And so you may find in February and March every year that you tend to be quite interested in your work habits, or organizing your life more, or your health. And this is like the beginning of that new cycle again, of planets going into your sixth house. And actually, a couple days later, you will have a new moon here. It's also the work that you do. So, with the new moon a couple of days later, maybe some of you are getting hired somewhere, and or getting, maybe it is like some kind of promotion, and that's what that situation was with the 11th house and having a full moon there, is that you are getting a promotion and therefore you're getting more money as well. Um, Also, on the same day that the new moon is in your sixth house, you have Venus going into your seventh house. So Venus has been in your sixth house for several weeks as the month of February begins. So Venus there, Venus is your ruler, and that can also indicate money through your work or harmony in your workplace. But then Venus goes into the seventh, which is the house that you rule, the house of committed partnership. Maybe there's some kind of love on the job. I don't think that you would get committed so quickly, though. But another thing about Venus in the seventh is it can enhance relationships. If you have any kind of legal affairs going on, because that's the seventh house, that could be, going very swimmingly, harmoniously, or even money is coming from that in some way. So yeah, it's actually a pretty uneventful month overall because of, well, I was going to say because all the planets are direct, but that's not always why it's uneventful. It's just not a lot of stuff happening. But it is a time for you. I think that work matters will be really starting to gain steam, and certainly going into March, because Saturn is going to go into that sixth house. And then you're really going to get down to brass tacks. Okay, Libra, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, I'm promoting my double readings. I have one that's a double astrology, where I analyze your natal chart for 1 hour, and do 1 hour of transits for the next 12 months. That's called my deep dive. If you like the tarot, there's one with that and a chart reading called The Whole Enchilada, and I have single readings as well. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonAstrology.com. Thank you for listening. Bye.